everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, What's Mommy's Name? This is episode 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. This episode, we would like to talk about self-care. So first we'll go over kind of what self-care is, what it means. And to me, I think self-care means implementing healthy activities in your routine, healthy or positive, in order to slow down and pamper yourself a little bit.
What's an activity that you do for yourself?
I think I have a lot of activities. For me, there's so many different types of self-care. There's emotional self-care, physical self-care. I think I spend more time doing physical self-care, whether it's hygiene or, those types of things, just because being so busy raising kids, I actually don't do that as often as people might think. I'm not a high maintenance person at all. So yeah, it would fall under that for me.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think that self-care is taking the time to do something not necessarily special for yourself, but just something that is solely for you. So that might look like sitting down to read a book that inspires you, or sitting down to just do some meditation or some breathing exercises, something to bring you back and kind of ground you. It could be getting out of the house and going to the store to get a coffee and a snack or something. I know I feel a lot better mentally when I take a shower early in the day and get a real outfit on that is not my pajamas. I rarely ever do that. Mm-hmm. So when I do, I'm always oh wow, I feel so much better. Who knew just putting clothes on and washing myself would make me feel a much more calm parent.
Yeah, I feel for me personally, I definitely believe in that saying, if you look better, you feel better.
Yeah.
That's what really works for me. So yeah, taking the time to shower, do skincare, wear matching socks,
For me, it's even as simple, okay, I might feel really gross, just going all day in my pajamas, but if I just even put a bra on, it makes me feel so much more put together.
Really? I don't.
Yes.
For me,
maybe it's because I have big boobs,
yeah.
But holding them up instead of just letting them hang in my shirt, I'm okay, I can clean and do stuff now.
I think, yeah, and also smelling good makes me feel so much better.
A perfume or something?
Yeah. Even if
I don't wear those anymore, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, even if I'm not going anywhere, sometimes I'll even put on perfume before bed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It kind of just it just puts me in a good mood.
Oh, that's so funny. That's an interesting one I haven't heard before.
Yeah. Also, after showering, putting on lotion. I know that some people were raised to that's just always been a part of their routine, but it never was for me. So it feels like a special thing to do when I do it.
So for me, I think I was raised always putting lotion on after the shower. And when I was in high school, I remember doing it just religiously. That was the first thing I did when I got out of the shower and dried off, was straight to putting lotion all over my body. And since having kids and having young kids, I rarely wear body lotion now, but I can literally feel
the difference.
It's I feel dry. I feel crispy. Yes. It's you put clothes on and you're just I don't feel clean anymore. It's the lotion is what finishes off your shower.
Yeah.
And if you don't put on the lotion, your skin dries out. You don't feel as smooth and silky. Mm-hmm. And Yeah, so I definitely notice when I put lotion on after the shower, when I have the time to do that, I feel way better getting dressed.
Yeah, and also if it's scented, that's like an added layer of smelling good. um,
Well, so I put on here, like, I would say doing this podcast for me is a form of self-care. Like, getting to enjoy an interest of mine that is outside of my kids and family life and being at home is really big. Like, I just always feel very refreshed after doing this.
yeah, and this is like a form of emotional self-care. Like
Yeah.
even in terms of like
But also us getting ready and putting makeup on,
right.
and
It's
gives
like
us a reason.
right. Yeah, there's like a process in it that just all feels good to do the whole process.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's like other forms of emotional self-care, whether it's like taking the time to meet with a friend and, you know, get coffee or get something to eat, or just talking to them. Like I know a lot of us, like we have our own lives and we get busy with them, and you know, we kind of don't keep in touch with people as much as maybe.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, I am too. But you know, it's nice to like spontaneously like reach out to somebody that you care about and, you know, start a conversation. So
yeah. And like make them feel like you are thinking of them. And
yeah.
remembering. Yeah.
And then also another form of emotional self-care is saying no to things that would cause you additional stress.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, I think I've been working on it for a while, and it has helped me because, you know, a couple years ago, like I was not in a place where I was really doing that, and I had to, for my own like health, because stress actually does cause you so many health problems. I had to step back. My body was like, no.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because, like, I have always been such a people pleaser. Like, I could be feeling like crap, in a bad mood, and somebody will want me to do something, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, even though I really don't want to. Or, like, maybe I do, but I'm just not feeling good. I'll do it anyways, you know, instead of reserving that time for me to, like, rest and have my own time for myself. But it's really funny because Iman, she has gone through her healing journey, and where she's at in life now, I have never met anybody who says no as much as she does. I'll like call and ask her like, oh, are you going to be home for, can we stop by and like see your house, or like, you know, come visit, or just like anything like random. And she'll be like, oh, no, I can't today. She's like, I had a really busy week and I just really need to rest this weekend and like take time to myself. She just knows how to say no.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like who's going to do it for you if you don't do it?
Yeah. And it's like, well, nobody owes it to you to make time for you. You know what I mean?
And nobody will know you're feeling a certain way unless you communicate it.
Yeah. And it's also like, if you respect people, like I see like some people could take it personally and be like, okay, well, they just don't care or whatever. But it's like, well, when you realize like how much you might be saying yes to somebody, even though you don't want to, I think that it can be taken as like they're selfish, or you just like look negatively, but really probably that's something you wish that you could do yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Because like you don't have to say yes to everything, even if it's not something that like, I think in terms when we like talk about it, we usually are thinking of like bigger things or more dramatic things, but it could really be something as simple as like, you know, a friend wanting to hang out and do something simple, and you're just not feeling it that day.
Or, you know, there's so many situations where like you might feel like, well, I wouldn't have a problem doing that. But it's important to remember that everybody's different. Everybody's going through something different. Our stress levels are different.
Our capacity to handle certain situations.
That's a good way to put it. And you know, so many people have anxiety and depression regardless of if it's diagnosed or not. So, you have to be mindful that people, are trying to take care of themselves. Um, because, yeah, stress is a big factor in like having anxiety and depression and can lead to so many other health problems.
So if you're a people pleaser on top of that, like on top of having all of those issues, and then you can't say no to people, like when you should be taking the time for yourself to like sleep, take a nap, just sit and not do anything with your body so it can like feel some rest. Like,
You're going to burn out more
yeah,
easily.
yeah. And then you're going to be frustrated, and then you're going to be like resentful or angry maybe with the person that you're helping, even though you're the one that said yes, when you could have said no.
So basically, self care is doing anything that feels nourishing for yourself in order to avoid that burnout, in
Yeah.
order to do your job efficiently or take care of people efficiently without going through that.
It's like that saying when they say you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to get to a point where you're not being the best version of yourself, for whether you're a parent and it's your kids, or you just have a partner or your friends. Like, it's going to show up eventually that you are, lacking and neglecting your own needs.
Right. And, that's important to not get it confused with being selfish because that's not what it is. It's just taking care of yourself.
Right.
And there's so many ways that like young parents or people on a budget can still do self-care.
Yeah.
Like we said, like shower, lotion,
Yeah.
skincare, perfume. It makes me feel good to like at least do my eyebrows, like tweeze them if I'm not gonna wear. A lot of times I don't wear makeup, so at least having my eyebrows cleaned up makes me feel good.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just put like the clear gel in mine, and then I'll put like a little bit of blush on and mascara, and I'll be like, okay, that makes me look a little more alive.
Yeah. Also, like watching a good movie that makes me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or remembering to listen to music, because for me, I say remembering because like I get so busy with like in real time, real life.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, like I can be enjoying this a little more.
I actually have found so much more like happiness and just fun in the moment times with the kids when I have turned the TV off, and they always hate when I turn it off, but I'll like turn it off, and then we have an Alexa, so I'll be like, Alexa, play pop music or something like that, and then it'll just be kind of like the background music, and the kids will either like start dancing or they'll start playing with their toys while I'm cleaning. And then eventually at some point we have a dance party, and I'm like picking them up one by one at a time and like spinning them around the room or something. And
Yeah.
like, like it gets you out of a funk or just like a stagnant place where you're just like sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, I've gone through that phase with the girls, like just having a little dance party with them, and now it's like, they're learning about like the singer or the song, the lyrics, or they're telling me like the ones that they like out of
Yeah.
what I choose. So it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that. What would be something else? I see you put exercise because I don't exercise. It
Yeah.
would be something that would be very beneficial because I know when I used to work out, I felt way better.
Yeah, I put exercise because, it is a form of self-care, obviously, to like maintain being healthy. And I know a lot of people have that already implemented in their routines. I don't.
Yeah,
It's a
me
journey for
either.
me. So I would say if you aren't there yet, even just like taking the time to stretch,
hmm
whether you're really like watching like a video about like doing yoga poses. Like it doesn't have to be that far, but just like taking the time to like be mindful and stretch every part of your body.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. It's like a release,
Mm-hmm.
and loosening your body just makes you feel lighter, like physically lighter, and then almost like a mental clarity as well. And it just makes it easier to go throughout your day when you are not like stiff and sore or just like uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it's something that like the more you take the time to do some form of self-care, the more like our children are going to witness it and like learn those habits themselves.
yeah,
So, that's an added plus for that.
yeah. What's like your favorite thing that you do for yourself? Like, let's say you're feeling stressed out and you haven't done anything for yourself in a while. Like, what is the one thing like, okay, this will make me feel better?
I it wouldn't be one thing. I like the process of doing something. So I would probably start at night by taking a shower,
Okay.
do some skincare. I like using hyaluronic acid and niacinamide and a moisturizer, like at the very least, those three things. And then, yeah, go to bed early. And to have it continue into the next day is what always like feels the best for me. So like waking up, continuing with that routine. So like do the skincare again and then like getting myself a coffee or like, treating myself to buying something that I usually wouldn't.
Okay.
It's like continuing by like drinking more water that day. So yeah, if I can start any form of self-care the night before and like have it continue into the next day, that like makes me feel the best. What about for you?
I mean, realistically speaking, let's say I wake up with the kids, probably won't get a shower that morning, but let's say I took one the night before. Um, my hope for my alone time usually comes around like what I would expect to be nap time for them. So if I can get them down for a nap and I can go downstairs and like sit in peace and quiet and like read a book, that is enough for me. Like I feel like I've got an escape in my reading, and then I've had the time to like enjoy something simple without having to like do a lot of work for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then usually when they wake up I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm ready for that now, like I had my little moment and
Mm-hmm.
now I can pay attention to
Yeah.
them. But if it were something like I would probably rather do like the wake up early before they wake up and get ready. And then I would feel much more like fresh, to start the
Fresh
day
and
with them.
prepared
Yeah.
and
And then it would be like, make breakfast, play with them, Ideally, I would like to get outside more, but something about my anxiety just keeps me from doing that lately. But I would like to, like go for a walk and then come home and they would go down for a nap and, like that
mm-hmm.
would be like the perfect day.
Yeah, I would, part of like continuing the self-care into the next day, like for me, my self-care is like trying to be the best version of myself. So even though I might not continue it every day, it's like in that process, at least I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So like that day, with drinking more water, um, for people that like don't drink a lot of water, if you're like drinking juice, like put water in it. Like it makes it a
Water it down.
yeah. Water your juice down. That'll at least feel like you're at least being a little bit more healthy and eat more vegetables that day. Fresh vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, I would still love to hear from people if you're watching this. I mean, I think we had like what 80 some views on our last video. So if 80 people watching this, like somebody give us an idea of like what you would want to hear us talk about. Just comment down below some topics that you find interesting. Like we're really like I would say at this point kind of open to talking about like pretty much anything because we have a lot of different interests and yeah, so just interact with us, let us know what you're thinking, let me know if you've read this book or if you might buy the book, and yeah, we will see you guys next week for episode 11. Oh my god.
Yep, so make sure you like this video and subscribe. We've reached 40 subscribers so far.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Thank you everybody that's supported us so far.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.